And we're going to go ahead and meet in a comfortable seated position. So when you guys are ready, just work your way onto your mat. If you'd like to prop yourself up, know that you can. So I am going to go ahead and rest on a block, and your comfortable seated position might be easy seat. Today, I'm actually going to begin on my knees with the ability for my hips to rest on the block, just so that I can stretch the shin bones and the tops of my feet. So if that feels comfortable for you, you can go there. And if the block is too low, then you can always raise it up to that second level, if that's a little better for your knees, for your joints. So it's up to you. If you prefer, again, easy seat, that's fine. If you want to stretch the bottom of the feet, you can tuck those toes under if that feels more appealing to you. But usually that's a little bit more intense. So we'll go ahead and begin. So as you begin in this seated position, close those eyes if possible, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and just let your palms rest anywhere along those thighs, whether they're palms down or palms up, or even at your abdomen, imagining you're holding a little soup bowl or something sacred to you in this space. Go ahead and take a full breath in through your nose this morning. And then you'll exhale, sigh that breath out, letting it go. Inhaling through the nose, letting the abdomen expand. Letting that breath go whenever you're ready. One more big inhalation through your nostrils. Pause at the top, and then exhale. Let that breath go out of the mouth. Taking the tongue, licking the lips, seal them to one another. And then begin breathing in and out of the nose. Constrict the back of the throat, and as you constrict the back of your throat, create that oceanic sound with your breath. As you create that oceanic sound with your breath, I invite you to place both your right and that left hand over your heart, bringing that awareness to your breath, noticing the movement as the air enters your body, and as our life force, this air releases from our body. Letting yourself arrive in the space that you've created this morning for your practice, the four corners of your mat. And as you notice the inhale and the exhale, now I want you to draw that focus towards your heart. As you bring that awareness towards your heart, allow yourself to work with compassion, to work with peace, and to work with ease, either for your mind, your body, your soul, or for all three. Allow yourself kindness and gratitude. Working with a mantra or these three particular words, you'll draw this next breath in fully. And you'll exhale, sigh that breath out, releasing your love and light out. As you take your next breath in, you can flutter or blink those eyes open, and then inhale, circle sweep those arms up towards the sky. Let your palms kiss over your head, and then exhale, bringing those hands into prayer and at your heart space. Inhale, sweep those arms once more up towards the sky, the palms kiss. Exhale, hands come into prayer and at your heart space. Last time, circle sweeping those arms up towards the sky. Palms kiss, and then exhale, hands come into prayer and at your heart space. As you take your next breath in, circle sweep your arms up, lift up onto those knees if you're on those knees. Exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down, lifting your heart up. As you take your next breath in, those arms reach up. Grab that right wrist with your left hand, draw that breath in, and then exhale, extend the body over towards that left edge of the room. For your neck, you can look down towards your armpit, you can look forward, or even spin that gaze up towards that right armpit if you prefer. Another inhale here. And exhale here. Then inhale, those arms reach up, arms extending up. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down, a soft back bend as you knit your ribs here. Inhale, those arms reach up. Grab that left wrist now, drop that left shoulder. Exhale, extend the body over towards that right side. Try your best not to dip that left elbow down. Instead, keep that left elbow up towards the sky as your left fingertips reach towards that right side. One more inhale here. And that exhale here. Then inhale, those arms reach up, and we'll exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down, take our gaze up, whether it's to the wall of the sky or in between the wall and the sky, your choice. Inhale, those arms reach up, and then exhale, release those hands down to the ground. As you release those hands down to the ground, we'll tuck our toes under and inhale, drop the belly down, tilt the chest and chin up for that cow pose. As you exhale, press the tops of the feet onto the mat, dome your spine, catting it up, chin goes towards the chest. Inhale, curling those toes. As you curl those toes, drop the belly down, retract those shoulders, and then exhale, doming that spine, catting it up, chin going towards the chest. One more round. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale as we cat it back up. And then inhale, neutralizing that spine. As we neutralize that spine, wiggle those hips from the right side of the room to the left side of the room. Take a full belly breath in and then exhale. You'll find stillness here in this tabletop. As you find stillness here in this tabletop, big toes come together, those knees separate, sinking the hips back. You'll exhale, send the weight of the body back for that child's pose as you extend those palms forward. Drop and release the heart as close as you can down towards the earth. Relax or release that third eye or the space between your eyebrows down on the mat if possible. Otherwise, stack those hands. And as you stack the palms or stack your fists, you'll rest that space between your eyebrows on the stacked palms or hands. Draw a full breath in here. Wiggle the hips if you need to. And as you exhale, sink the hips towards the heels. Actively extend those fingertips towards the top of the mat. Another full breath in here. Release that breath when you're ready. And then inhale, we'll begin to lift and rise up, working our way back into that tabletop position, bringing those knees back towards one another. As we bring those knees back towards one another, curl your toes under, shift the weight of the body back, and inhale, rise up, sitting the hips on the heels. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, twisting open towards that right side. Right hand on that right heel. Inhale, extend and lift that left thumb back. Inhaling up, exhale, keep that twist, and then inhale, those arms reach back up. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. If this is too much for the bottom of your feet, allow yourself to come up on hands and knees. Inhaling the breath up, exhale, twisting open towards that left side. Left hand on that left heel, looking forward. Inhale, that right thumb extends that. One more inhale here. Arm reaching up, exhale, take that twist. On your next breath in, the arms reach up, you're on your knees, tops of your feet press into the mat. Exhale, heads of the elbows drop down. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, cartwheel, right hand into your belly, left hand into your belly. Dome your spine, stay up, shift the weight of the body back. On that next breath in, those arms reach all the way back up. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up. This time, cartwheel, left hand first, right hand in second, dome that spine, catting it up, looking towards your abdomen. And then inhale on those knees, those arms reach up. As you exhale last time, you pull the heads of the elbows down. And then inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, hands release down to the mat. As the hands release down to the mat, tuck the toes under, plank pose as you come off the knees. And then exhale, tilt those hips up as you work the weight of the body into downward facing dog or that inverted V. Shifting the hips up towards the sky, anchoring your palms into the earth, gripping into the pads of the fingers, as well as the knuckles of the hand versus the heels of your hands. March or paddle your feet back and forth. Allow that length and that elongation for your hamstrings, the release of the calves, as well as the activation of your core and shin bones. Take another full breath in here. Letting that breath go. On your next inhale, lifting the heels, bending those knees, looking forward, walking or stepping your feet in between your thumbs as you exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, a flat back, send the hips back, reach to the crown of the head, shoulders drift away, and then exhale, folding the heart back down. Separating your feet, hip width distance apart, bend your knees, grab those elbows, take that ragdoll pose. As you take that ragdoll pose, you can swish or swing the body from side to side. Feel your shoulders release away from the ears and let your head get heavier and heavier as it dangles like a pendant on a necklace. Draw a breath in here. Let that breath go. Go ahead and return to center. Hands come back down towards the mat. A generous bend in the knees if you need it. Heel toe your feet all the way back towards one another. And then inhale, reverse and rise. Circle sweeping those arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Extend through the chest. Lift through the heart. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, lowering those palms back down to the mat. Step back with that right foot. Place those palms down firmly. Step back with that left foot into your plank pose. Down to the knees if you desire. Hug those elbows in. Shift the weight of the body forward. Keep your heart lifted. Stay tight as a board. And then exhale, bend those elbows. Brush your ribs as you lower all the way down. Tops of your feet stay on the mat. Hands come out to the edges of the mat. Shoulders shrug back. And then inhale for a little modified cobra. You can also place the palms down if you prefer. Draw a breath in. Lifting through the crown as the shoulders release. You'll exhale, lower your heart back down. Inhale, we'll lift it back up. On our exhale, we'll release that right shoulder to the center of the mat, looking over towards that left edge of the room. Inhale, we return back to center, smiling with gratitude. And exhale, that left shoulder drops down. We'll look over towards that right edge of the room. Inhale, we work our way back to center. And exhale, we release the weight of the body back down towards the mat. Send the hands or the palms back down to your breastbone. Curl those elbows in or tuck them in. Work the thighs towards one another. Tuck those toes under. Inhale, plank on your knees to plank off your knees to exhale, downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, go ahead and march or paddle your feet out once more. And then find stillness here in this downward facing dog as you release that breath out. Hollow out your armpits, so flatten your back, pressing the hips up, letting that head dangle. On your next inhale, extend and lift that right leg up towards the sky, bending your knee and stacking hip over hip. As your hips stack on top of one another, press this left side of your body towards this left leg. And as you do that, look underneath your left armpit and then trace a few circles with your right knee in one direction. And then switch that direction out when you're ready. As you take your next breath in, extending the legs, squaring the hip and that hard lift for that three-legged dog. As you exhale, take that right knee, bring it in towards your chest, looking forward. Step the right foot in between the thumbs. As you step that right foot in between your thumbs, spin your back blade so you're in warrior two, and then inhale, cartwheel, and rise up. As you rise up for that warrior two, extend your arms nice and long, drop the shoulder blades down. Back hand down, flip that right palm, inhale, reverse that warrior. As you reverse this warrior, now I want you to look directly up towards your right hand, bend that right elbow, pat your back with that right hand, and then inhale, lift that left arm up. If you can, grab the tip of the elbow. Send your right palm down the back as you sink those hips low, pressing through that left blade of your foot. One more inhale here. And that exhale here. On your next breath in, those arms reach up. You'll straighten that front right leg. You'll exhale, prep for triangle pose. Extend those arms, open this left hip up, reach the fingertips forward, and then tick-tock when you're ready to a 6 and 12. As you tick-tock to that 6 and 12, do your best not to hyperextend the knee by pressing the kneecap back. Instead, engage your quad. Lift and extend those left fingertips up. Draw a breath in here. Let that breath go, and then inhale, reverse that warrior. The arm reaches back, and we'll exhale, cartwheel the hands to frame that front foot. So we frame that front foot. Inhale, lift and extend that right arm up towards the sky. Sink that back hip down, breath in, and then exhale, release your hand down. Step back into plank pose to exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, lift the heels, roll that vertebrae forward into your plank pose. From this plank pose, drop that right knee down, spin the right blade to the right edge of the mat. Side plank as you inhale and extend that left arm up towards the sky. As that left arm comes up towards the sky, extend the left fingertips towards that top edge of your mat. A full belly breath in here, and that full belly breath out. Then inhale, arm goes up, extend and lift that left leg off the ground. Curl the heel in towards the body or towards your knee. Slide the hand down, connect the hand to that ankle or the top of your foot. Take a full breath in, looking anywhere it feels right for you. Let that breath go. Take another big breath in here. Let that breath go. Then inhale, release. Extend the arm and the leg. As you exhale, drop the blade of your foot down. Spin that left hand around. Hook the hips around. On your next inhale, lift and float your left leg off the mat. Extend and float that right hand forward. Shift that left one if you need to for stability. And then exhale, pull the elbow and the knee in towards midline. Inhale, long arm, long leg. Exhale, tuck it in tight, chin to chest. Inhale, extend, or at least gazing under. And then exhale, pulling it in. On your next breath in, we'll extend the arm and that leg. Send your right hand towards the back, curl that left heel towards your body, reach back, grab the top of your foot. If this is too much, just let your hand rest on your hip and lift those toes up. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. One more inhale here, and then exhale. Let that breath go on that next breath in. Release, extend the arm and the leg. The arm stays out towards your right side, and you're taking helicopter little ab work. So breath in, and then exhale. Hand goes forward, leg goes out. Bring it back to center. Exhale, bring that leg and that arm forward. Exhale, take it back. Last time, bring it towards the side in front, and then back. On that exhale, release your hand down. Drop the back toe down. Step that right foot towards the back of the house for plank, and then exhale, tilt your hips up for downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Take another big giant breath in and let that breath go. On your next inhale, lift the heels, roll that spine forward for plank, lower to the knees if you'd like, hug those elbows in. Looking forward as you exhale, begin to brush the ribs as you lower your heart all the way down. Keep those hands close to your breastbone. Maybe pull those elbows in a little tighter. Send the weight of the body back as you shrug the shoulders back. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and then inhale with your strength of your back, your glutes, and your core. Lift up for a little baby cobra. Float the fingertips if you'd like off the earth. Close those eyes if you desire. Take a breath in. And then exhale, release it all down. Inhale, thighs together, toes tuck under. Honor off those knees for plank to off the knees for plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. As you take your next breath in, extend and lift that left leg up towards the sky. Bending the knee and stack hip over hip. Again, look underneath that right armpit, pressing your heart towards this right thigh. And then trace those big circles with this left knee in one direction. And then the opposite direction, finding that fluidity or that synovial fluid to cushion our joints. And then inhale, extend and float that left leg back. As you exhale, pull that left knee into your chest, looking forward, step that foot in between your thumbs. As you step that left foot in between your thumbs, spin that back blade so it's perpendicular to the mat, and then inhale, cartwheel and rise up for your warrior two. As you rise up for warrior two, your gaze is just beyond those peace fingers as your arms extend forward and backwards. Back hand down, flip that front palm. Inhale, reverse the warrior. As you reverse that warrior, looking up towards your left hand, bend the left elbow, bring that hand to the back. Inhale, right arm goes up. Grab the tip of that right elbow. As you slowly relax the shoulders away from the ears, feel that lead. Full belly breath in, strength through this back right leg. Let that breath go. And on your inhale, those arms reach up, straighten your front leg, square the hips forward. Exhale, prep for that triangle pose. Extend and reach the fingertips. Pause here. Open up this right hip and then tick-tock your hands to the 6 and the 12. If you have a block that you'd like to bring here, bring that block. If your fingertips are on your shin bone, make sure it's little to no weight that you're pressing into this leg so it's soft. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale, letting that breath go. On your next breath in, reverse that warrior by bending your front knee, tracing that left thumb back. And then exhale, cartwheel those hands to frame that front foot. As you frame that front foot, stepping back, keeping the right fingertips down. Inhale, that left arm goes up. As that left arm goes up, sink the hips low. Feel that length through the heart. Feel that stretch straight through your legs. Exhale, release and lower that left palm down. Step back into plank pose. Exhale into downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Let that breath go. On your next inhale, lift the heels, roll forward into plank. As you come into plank, side plank, as we first release the knee down to the ground, left knee, left foot hooks over, and inhale, extend and reach that right arm up. Strength through this left shoulder, strength through your left palm. Extend the right fingertips towards that left side of the mat or that top edge of your mat. A breath in here, a breath out. On your next inhale, the arm goes up, lift and float that right leg off the earth. Curl the heel in towards the body, reach back, grab that ankle. As you grab that ankle, allow the heart to expand, but keep your ribs together. Looking up, down, forward, it's your choice. Another breath in, another breath out. On your next inhale, release, extend the arm and the leg. As you exhale, drop the blade of the foot down. Sweep your right hand around, square those hips, and then inhale, extend and float that right leg up once more. Right hand shifts slightly towards center, left arm goes forward. Point those right toes down, stay strong through the shoulder. A breath in, and then exhale, bird dog. Curl that knee in towards the heart. Elbow meets it. Inhale, long reach. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, long reach. Use the full expression of your breath. Exhale, pull it in. And then inhale, take it nice and long. On your next exhale, bring your hand over towards that left side. As that hand comes over towards the left side, curl that right heel towards your body. Keep your core firm. Reach back, grab that ankle. Again, if this is not meant for you today, you can also extend the leg or drop the toes down, your choice. A full breath in here. A full breath out. One more breath in. Soft bend at this right elbow so that you're not hyperextending it. Let that breath go. On that next inhale, release, extend the arm and the leg, point the toes down. Send your arm out towards this left side, left arm, left side. Breath in, and then exhale, your arm comes forward, your leg comes over to the right. Inhaling long. Exhale, bringing it into that 90-degree angle. Inhale long. Last time, exhale. And then inhale it long. Release that hand down. As you release that hand down, drop your right toes down. Place those palms down on the ground. Step that left foot back for plank pose. From this plank pose, on or off your knees, elbows in. You'll exhale, lower all the way down. Hands stay close to your breastbone for either baby cobra or inhaling for upward facing dog. Full breath in as the shoulders drop back, as the crown reaches forward. And then let that breath go. When you're ready, curling those toes if you need to, lifting your body up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Another big breath in here, and you'll let that breath go. As you take your next inhale, lift those heels, bend those knees, looking forward. Walk, step, or if you'd like, take a couple of small hops until you make your way in between your thumbs. Exhale at the top for your forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. Exhale, release it back down. Separating your feet wider than hip width distance. Take out your peace fingers, lift your toes up, grab onto your big toes, place your thumb on top of your big toenail. Then send your elbows out to the left and to the right side of the room as you bow your heart down. Looking in between those thighs, you can wiggle the hips right side to left side. Full belly breath in here. A full belly breath out here. One more. You can also straighten those legs and just fold that heart, letting your head dangle. Releasing the toes, bend those knees, fingertips come towards the front, heel toe your feet all the way back towards one another. Big toes kiss, the heels are about 3 fingers width distance apart. We'll bend our knees, shift the weight to the heels, keep your heart onto the thighs, and then inhale, lift up for chair. Pull your core up and in, sit the hips down a little bit lower, arms are up. If your shoulders are extremely tight, automatically bring those palms together and let them come into prayer at your heart space. Try your very best here to engage the core, feel rooted into the earth. Another breath in. And now everyone, palms together, hands at prayer and at our heart space, taking a breath in, sinking a little bit lower as we exhale. On that next breath in, those arms reach forward. And as we exhale, send that right hand down and then back as you twist. If you shifted that left knee forward, pull that left hip back, meet it with the right. Breath in here. Breath out here. Now place your right palm on your right hip and inhale, legs go long. Camel as we stand on our feet and extend and reach that left thumb back. On your exhale, come back to that twisted chair with your arms open. Inhale back to center. Sit a little lower. Exhale, palms together, hands into prayer and at your heart space. Stay strong here, just one more breath. And then exhale, we'll take a little forward fold to release the quads and maybe bend those knees back and forth. If chair is difficult for you today, then stand up a little taller. That's completely fine. All on your breath and time. Chair pose, bending those knees, sitting the hips low. Inhale, those arms reach up. The arms reach up, the shoulders pull back. One more inhale here in chair. Maybe actively extend your fingers. And then palms together. Exhale, hands come into prayer and at your heart space. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, those arms reach forward. One more breath in. And then exhale, send that left hand down to the 6 and then back to the back of the room. Full inhale here. Sink a little bit lower. Again, check your knees, check your feet. Let that breath go. Left hand on that left hip. Inhale. You'll lift all the way up for camel opening, either looking over the left shoulder or directly over your head. One more inhale here. And then exhale, come back to chair twist. Full belly breath in, full belly breath out. Inhale, those arms reach up. And then exhale, we'll forward fold. As we fold forward, let that head dangle. Inhale, rising up halfway. Exhale, releasing it down. Inhale, reverse and rise all the way up. Circle sweeping those arms to the sides, to the sky. Exhale, head to those elbows, pull down. And then inhale, those arms reach up. On your exhale, forward fold, plant those palms down. You have two options here. As you bend those knees, you lift the heels. You can step back, right foot, or left foot, right foot if you prefer, or you can plant those palms down. As you plant the palms down, the hips have to lift up. You're on the balls of your feet, and then it's Chaturanga as you step back. Tops of the feet onto the mat. If you're up, exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, lift up cobra or that upward facing dog. And then exhale, tilt those hips up for downward facing dog. Go ahead and release and lower those knees down to the mat. As wide as your mat, as your toes kiss. Work the weight of the body back as you take child's pose. In that child's pose, if you still want to open up the chest, open up or release your triceps, bend your elbows, bring those palms together, thumbs kiss, and then the thumbs come somewhere towards the back of the body. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Another full breath in here. And you'll let that breath go. One more giant breath in. And you'll release that breath. All on your time, those arms extend forward if the thumb was resting on your back. Palms press into the earth, rising up into your tabletop position. From that tabletop position, tuck those toes. Plank pose to exhale, downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, you'll inhale, extend and lift that right leg up towards the sky, bending the knee and stacking hip over hip. Now we're taking either flip dog or wild thing. If it's wild thing, send the weight of the body forward so you can anchor through this left palm. Spin that left blade over. Step your right foot over. Keep your left shoulder in line with that left wrist. Lift the hips up. Inhale, right arm goes over your head. Or that right hand comes to your hip or to your heart. One more inhale here. And then exhale. Slowly begin to rewind and spin so that you're on the ball of that left foot and your right leg goes up. As you exhale, a little challenge here if you want to take it. Take that right knee, tap that right elbow. Inhale, extend the leg behind you. Exhale, tap that knee to the left elbow. Inhale, extend that right leg behind you. And then exhale, pull that knee in towards your heart. Step your foot in between your thumb. If it doesn't make it, grab onto the calf. Work that foot in between that right and that left thumb. Take a full breath in, looking forward. Let that breath go. Spin that back blade so that you're in warrior two position, and then inhale, cartwheel and rise up for your warrior two. As you come into warrior two, settle the shoulders down. Drop that back hand down, flip that right palm. Inhale, reverse it. Full breath in, full breath out. Looking up, bend the elbow, grab the tip as you inhale and reach for the tip of your elbow with that left hand. Sink a little bit lower, pull the core in a little tighter, squeeze that left glute a little more. One more inhale here, letting that breath go. On your next breath in, those arms reach up, the leg goes straight, and you'll exhale, prep for extended side angle or extended triangle. Reach the fingertips forward, keep the shoulders level, tick-tock your hands to your 6 and to your 12. If you've extended your arm beyond the range of aligning it with your shoulder, I want you to bring it back into line. It's a normal thing that people do is they hyperextend the shoulder to the back. Instead, feel the hip open up. Keep that arm actively reaching up and soften your tips. A full breath in here and that full breath out here. On your next inhale, reverse that warrior, tracing that right thumb back. Now, as we exhale, we're coming into warrior two so that you can prep for half moon. In your half moon, you may either want to hold onto your wall or you may want to anchor or place something in front so that you're able to extend and reach the body so that the fingertips either anchor onto a block or perhaps even onto the ground. Your choice. I'm going to show you both. So go ahead and come back into that warrior two. Inhale, we're going to reverse it. And with our momentum, exhale, bend forward, bring the right fingertips back, drag those left toes, keep the hip open, extend and open up. As you extend and open up, if you needed that block, this is where that block is placed so that your palm can rest on it. Full breath in. If your foot falls down, no big deal. Full breath out. Stay strong through your hip. Lift and extend through the hip. A breath in. And then if you can curl the heel in, and you can rest your hand on your hip. This is the challenging part. The second challenging part is grabbing onto the ankle. Think about when you were on your knee and you reach back in that side plank. That's the position that you're in. A full breath in here. And that full breath out. On your next breath in, release, extend the arm and the leg. Exhale, gracefully step back into that warrior two. From your warrior two, inhale, the arms reach forward. You spin the hips so that they point towards the front. On our exhale, we'll pull the heads of the elbows down. And then on our inhale, with momentum, stabilize through your right leg and inhale. Drag that left leg up. As you drag that left leg up, go ahead and slowly begin to release those hands as you exhale to your hip. As you exhale those hands to your hip, curl the heel back further, take that left hand out, grab the top of that left foot with your left hand, and then that dancer's pose. So for your dancer's pose, you'll slowly begin to extend the arm forward, bow your chest down, kick the foot into the hand, and if you need to use your wall, use the wall. You can always place one hand on the wall and take that opposite hand. Breath in here, breath out here. One more. Letting it go. Now, if possible, release. Extend that leg. Both arms reach forward for warrior three. Take a full inhale here. Stay strong through this right glute. I know it's tired, so is mine. And then exhale, standing split. As your hands drop down towards the ground, draw a breath in. Lift or magnetize that left thigh up. Let that breath go. One more inhale. And that last exhale. Go ahead and step that left forward as you exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, we'll rise up halfway. Exhale, we'll melt it all the way back down. And then inhale, reverse and rise. Circle sweep those arms to the sides, to the sky. Full breath in. As we exhale, we'll pull the elbows down. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Lowering the palms down to the mat. You're either going to step back left foot, right foot, or plant those palms, bend those knees, lift the hips on the ball of your feet. Chaturanga, so that's push-up plank, halfway down, elbows squeeze in, tops of your feet onto the mat for that upward facing dog, palms and tops of the feet onto the earth or cobra. And then exhale, tilting back up for downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Take another full belly breath in and let that breath go. On your next inhale, lift and extend that left leg up towards the sky, bending the knees, stacking hip on hip. So if it's wild thing, you're going to slide the weight of the body forward so that you're anchoring your shoulder. If it is flip dog, you might want to shorten your stance. So bringing your hands a little closer, bending that right knee, keeping that left knee bent, right knee bent, step over. You're still aligning the arm with the shoulder. And then inhale, flip dog instead. Your choice. I like to offer both because sometimes we prefer one over the other. One more inhale here. And then when you're ready to release, bend those knees, rotate, pivot back on that right foot, extend that left leg behind you. The core challenge here is the knee to the elbow. So if you don't want to do that, no big deal. You can always step through first. Breath in. And then exhale, take that left knee, kiss that left elbow, look forward. Inhale, extend the leg back. Exhale, left knee taps that right elbow. Inhale, extending the leg back. And then exhale, knee in towards your chest. This is what I mean whenever we usually force that foot forward. Instead, step it down where it's comfortable. Grab the calf, slide the foot forward with the help of your hand. Fingertips down, take a breath in, looking towards the top of your mat. Let that breath go. Spin that back leg down and then inhale, cartwheel and rise up for your warrior two. As you come into your warrior two, a full belly breath in, full belly breath out. Drop that back hand down, flipping that left palm, inhale, reverse that warrior. As we reverse it here, feel the core come together, bending that elbow, inhale, right arm goes up. We grab the tip of the left elbow as we slowly slide that left palm down. If you've collapsed your chin towards your chest, maybe grab onto your wrist instead, or maybe hold on to the inside part of your tricep instead. Another breath here. Letting that breath go on that inhale, releasing arms up, straight left leg, and then exhale, prep for triangle pose. From that triangle pose, extend and reach the fingertips forward. Keep the shoulders in line, and then tick-tock your hands to that 6 and 12. Again, try to keep this right hip engaged, this right oblique side opening up. And then if your arm went beyond the range of motion, bring it back into line. A full breath in here. Reaching the fingertips actively, letting that breath go. On your next inhale, reverse that warrior. Bend that front knee, trace that left thumb back, and then exhale, come into your warrior two. If you haven't already moved your block, set your block up. If you know you need it, grab it. Come back into that warrior two. Half moon when you're ready as you inhale, reverse. And with that momentum, exhale, aim the palm down to the ground or to your block. Drag that back leg, keep the hip open, slow, 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 open up. Hold on to your block or let your peace fingers anchor into the mat. Your arm extends up towards the sky. Flex that right foot. Strength through your core here. Modification. Stay in warrior two with your hand on the block. If you are up and you're comfortable, I want you to curl the heel in towards your body. If you're able to grab the ankle, grab it. And if you're not, keep your hand on your hip. That's totally fine. There's a slight rotation of your hip on this left side, turning in. It's very difficult to hug the hip to rotate externally. So there's a slight internal rotation just for that protection. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. If you're bound, we're slowly releasing. If you're not already in warrior two, we're gracefully stepping back. Take your time. Align the heel, point those toes forward, and then warrior two. From that warrior two, take a breath in. Let that breath go. High crescent lunge as we spin the hips towards the front, arms reach forward. Let that breath go, and then exhale, elbow heads pull down. On our next inhale, those arms reach up. And as we exhale, we're going to shift the weight forward, pull that right knee in towards our body. As we pull that right knee in towards the body, find your balance here. You got it. Beautiful. Nice work. On that exhale, the hands come down towards the hip. Begin to push or curl your heel towards your body. Extend that right hand out towards that right side. Grab the top of your right foot. Dancer's pose when you decide it's time. And it may be right here. This may be where you're at today. It may be that you're able to lean the body and fold halfway, keeping the toes pointed up. May even be where you're right here. And this is okay too. May be that you extend the opposite arm out, whatever feels right for you. Breath in, breath out. One more. Squeeze the glutes for strength. And if you're wobbly, find your focal point, your drishti. Let that breath go. On your next inhale, you release. Warrior three. Warrior three, extend that leg. Lift that thigh up high. Hands can come to your hips, to the sides. It's up to you. Breath in, and then exhale, standing split. As you come into that standing split, you'll bow your heart down, lift and magnetize your right thigh up. Breath in, breath out. One more, and then exhale, step that right foot to meet the left foot as you exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, release and lowering down. Inhale, reverse and rise all the way up. Exhale, heads of those elbows pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up. And then palms together, hands at prayer and at our heart space. Closing your eyes, take a moment here for yourself. Breathe in fully. Let that breath go. Come back to the ease of your heart, the peace, and that comfort. Lowering or allowing the rate to slow down. You'll draw one more breath in, fluttering your eyes open as you let that breath go. Inhale, we'll circle sweep those arms up. Exhale, pulling the heads of the elbows down. Inhale, those arms reach up. And then exhale, forward fold, palms down to the mat. Either step back, right foot, left foot into your plank pose, or hop back into your chaturanga. From that chaturanga, either on or off the knees, halfway down or all the way down. And then inhale, cobra or your upward facing dog. And then exhale, tilting the hips back up for that downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, draw a breath in. Let that breath go. Take another full breath in and let that breath go. As you take your next inhale, lift the heels high, bend those knees generously, looking forward. You can either walk, Step 1 foot at a time, or take miniature steps, or even walk your hands back for Malasana. So if you're walking the hands back, keep those knees bent, step the feet apart, drop the hips towards the back end of the mat. If you decided to hop to the top, lift those heels, bend those knees, looking forward, hop into your Malasana. So many options for you to do on what feels right. As you come into that Malasana, you also have that option to sit on the edge of your couch, your chair, your block, stack of books, whatever feels right for you. Just allow the heart to expand, the shoulders to drop down, the eyes to close. Sometimes this is a very challenging position for us to rest in. And it's just because we're not accustomed to dropping the tailbone lower. We're used to sitting more than we are in this particular type of squat or yogi squat that we're in. So do your best to use that breath to return back to the heart connection and give yourself a little bit of grace here. Not sure if I have any of my friends that enjoy taking that crow pose, but you do have the option to come into crow here. And if you're not there, that's okay. I'm going to break it down. So if you're in the mood to try it, but you've never tried it, then you can definitely do that. I always like to have something for in case I face plant, which is more common than not. So if you're the same, I just advise you to be super careful. You can also perch your feet on a block. That gives your hips a little more elevation. If you want to come down into child's pose, that's completely fine as well. The best practice is placing those knees on the triceps. I like to start with somewhere that I know my knees need to rest on. And it's a soft connection, so you're not compressing or releasing the entire weight of your body on the triceps. It's just that connection so that your core and your pelvic floor muscle or the perineum muscle actually are the powerhouse in the body. Those arms reach forward, spread your fingers wide, grip into the mat. Now tilt those hips up. As you tilt the hips up, my knees are now away from my triceps, but I'm going to squeeze my elbows in. I'm going to shift the weight of the body forward. I can float one foot. I can float the opposite toe. I'm looking towards the top end of the mat because if I look towards my toes, then you guessed it, I'm going to fall. Squeeze and lift. One more breath in. And then when you're ready, you can release, coming back into that yogi squat or even fire toes. Take a breath in here. If anything is in your way, release it. Let that breath go. Everyone go ahead and release those palms down. Lift the hips up. Walk your feet back towards one another. Tops of the feet onto the mat. Knees come down to the earth. And we'll all exhale to take that child's pose. Letting that breath go. Full belly breath in. Full belly breath out. One more. Letting that breath go. On your next inhale, rising up into that tabletop position, bringing those knees towards one another, tucking the toes, plank pose. As we take this plank pose, we'll exhale, tilt those hips up for downward facing dog. And downward facing dog, inhale, extend and lift that right leg up towards the sky. Bending the knee and stacking the hip. If you decide you want to take one more foot variation, take that variation. But if you're ready for pigeon pose, inhale, extend the leg, squaring the hip. And as you exhale, bring your knee behind that right wrist and let the foot come over to the left wrist. An option here is to come onto your back instead. You do not have to take pigeon from this position. You can always take figure four on your back. It mimics the exact same thing. If you happen to have your right glute really high, you may want to anchor it with a blanket, a pillow, your block, so that you have stability. Stay in your prideful pigeon as you flex the right toes and you lift that heart up. Take a full breath in here in prideful pigeon, and then you'll exhale, walk those hands down as you bow your heart. Maybe your belly, your chest connects with the shin bone. Perhaps it doesn't, and that's okay. And if you need something to rest your forehead on, grab that. Place your forehead on that space. Keeping the right toes flexed is the only thing that I ask of you to do. Big inhale here. Big exhale here. Typically, we find discomfort or we feel a little bit off edge when we come into these deep hip openers like pigeon, even if it's on our back. And if that's the case, I want you to bring all your awareness to your breath. As you bring that awareness to your breath, what can you soften? What can you let go of? Maybe it's something that you need to receive. Allow yourself to receive. Let your heart be open. Let your mind be open to receive what is meant for you. Oftentimes we close the blinds to our heart. So today, open those blinds up. Accept, receive. You're here for just another few more inhales. If anybody is interested in coming into now what is known as Mermaid, or that bind on the ground from this particular position, you'll inhale, rise up. And if you have that block in front of you, you can always place that block so that you can bring the earth up to you. As you rise up, you can curl this left heel towards your body. That left arm opens up and you can reach back to grab the ankle, your pant leg, or even if you're wearing shorts, you can grab the shorts. Try your best not to lift and turn the hip open. Instead, let your right hip sink. Let your left hip point forward. If you have a variation here where you want to float the fingertips off, you can kind of think of dancer's pose, some variation of it. Do your best not to collapse the shoulder. If you're still in pigeon, you only hear another 2 to 3 inhales. If you're here in this mermaid bind, on that inhale, you're releasing without slingshotting your leg, placing those palms back down to the mat, removing the block, curling those left toes, walking that left knee forward, remove your blanket. We'll hug this right leg in towards our body, and then we'll slowly trace a few circles to bring back fluidity, blood flow, and that synovial fluid into this right hip. Full belly breath in, full belly breath out. Exhale back into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, you guessed it, left leg goes up, bending the knees, stacking hip. If you made your way over, make your way over. And if you didn't, no big deal. You'll extend that left leg, squaring the hip. You'll exhale, left knee behind the wrist, ankle over towards that right wrist. Flexing the toes, drop that right knee down, walk the body back. If you don't need the block here, you don't need that cushion, that's okay. And if you are on your back, go ahead and switch that leg. Slowly begin to allow that back leg to extend. The hip flexors are open. Your fingertips are anchored into the earth as you come into this prideful pigeon. If your foot's all wonky, allow your foot to come back into alignment. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, you can begin to walk the body forward by bringing your elbows down. And again, anything you need to find support for your body this morning, go there. Calm your mind through your breath. Decompress it all. Find that permission for yourself to be content, to find peace, to be joyful. Acknowledge any thoughts that enter. And if those thoughts don't serve your higher purpose, for grace, for gratitude, discard them. Allow them to be vanished or gone. And then once more, invite yourself to receive. Receive the love, receive light, maybe even strength and hope. If you're content here in this pigeon pose, whether you're on your back or your belly is close to your shin bone, stay here. But if you're ready to rise up into that mermaid variation, press those palms up, lift up for that prideful pigeon. Do your best not to compromise the hip again. So you're not opening up the hip in any particular direction. You're keeping it settled. You can use that block once more. You may not need it, but you'll keep the left fingertips down. You'll look over that right shoulder, curling the heel in towards the body. And as you do, bringing the heel in towards the body, maybe you can look forward. And then from here, don't open the hip up if at all possible. Instead, release the leg a little bit more. And if you want to extend the arm up, extend it. Make sure you have your left toes flexed, A full breath in here. Full breath out. If you're still in pigeon, you only have about 2 inhales left. And if you're in this mermaid variation, you'll slowly release and lower the heel down, that leg down without slingshotting it. Then everyone inhale, rise up pridefully, curling the right toes, walking that right knee forward, hugging that left leg into your belly. If you're on your back, stay on your back. We're about to meet you there. Couple of circles with this left knee in one direction and then the opposite direction. And then exhale into that downward facing dog. As you come into that downward facing dog, lifting the heels, bending those knees, lowering the knees down to the mat, sliding your legs in one direction, slipping the hips the opposite, you'll swing those legs forward. As we bring those legs forward, we are coming down on our back. So as we rest on our back, we'll draw those knees in towards our chest. As the knees come in towards our chest, you can rock back and forth or side to side, whichever feels best for you. You can also place your hands on those knees and trace those circles in one direction, clockwise and then counterclockwise. And then we'll set up for bridge pose. So when you're ready, lowering the soles of the feet down. As the soles of the feet come down, those hands rest to your sides. You're pressing the palms into the earth or gripping with your finger pads, allowing the knees to be in line with the ankles and the soles of the feet anchoring into the earth. On an inhale, tilt those hips up. You can use your hands to slowly lift the hip up to bring the shoulder blades in, and then you can work your hands inside so that they can interlace underneath your body. Do your best to keep the shoulders away from the ears and do your best to extend and reach from the crown through the neck to the mid portion of our body as the hips lift up through those knees. So you're this long arrow of energy from the center outward. One more inhale here. Releasing the hands, sliding the shoulders out. You'll exhale, lower your back down. Walk your feet out to the edges of the mat and then slowly begin to windshield wiper those legs right side to left side. Another breath here and that breath out. Setting back up for a second bridge. Palms come down, all on your time. Inhale, lift the hips up. Again, you can work the hips up. You can bring those shoulders in. You can interlace your hands. Maybe try interlacing the opposite direction. Do your very best not to collapse the chin into the chest. Instead, think of the fists working their way down to your heels, if they're interlaced or not, or your fingertips. And breathing in fully. Squeeze the glute. Feel strength through your core. One more inhale here, and then slide those hands out. Shoulders release. You'll exhale, lower the back down. Windshield wiper, decompress that low spine. On your next breath in, coming back to center, you can set up for that third and final bridge, or if you prefer, will pose. For that will pose, our shoulders are nice and open, our heart's been expanded, the hip flexors are working, our low back is great. So the palms come down to your ears. If you know this is difficult for you, just come into bridge today if it's not meant for you this morning. The trick here is your fingers still have to point towards those toes. You have to stay strong through the core and the pelvic floor muscles. So engage your Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Pressing the palms, inhale, lift the heart up. As you lift the heart up, you'll breathe in fully. You'll let that breath go. One more if you can. And then to come down, tilt the chin slightly towards the chest. Bring the back of your head down to the mat. Release the vertebrae one by one down as you rest those hands to your side. Let everything in the body find stillness so that you can reset, realign the fluids in the spine. Or if you prefer, you can sway side to side. Once your low spine feels fine, you'll inhale, extend and lift that right leg up, bending that right knee in towards your armpit. Grab it for half happy baby. And then inhale, left leg follows. Grab and bend that knee as you grab the blade of your foot. Rocking side to side in that happy baby variation. From that happy baby variation, find a little playfulness, maybe extending those legs out to the edges. You can also grab onto the hamstrings if you prefer. You can wiggle those ankles or toes, and you can always zip the thighs towards one another and take waterfall. You can also move to the edge of your couch if you prefer and take waterfall, or knees bent there so you can release the hips down. If something is calling you, something is saying, meet me there, take me there, invite yourself to go to that place. It could be that now you're bringing the soles of the feet together and coming into a little variation of butterfly with those thighs opening up, the soles of the feet together. A breath in and that breath out. Wherever you are, enjoy 2 more inhales and exhales. Last one. And then releasing. Slowly letting go. We'll bring those knees back towards one another. Arms cactus or T out. A breath in, and we'll exhale. Supine twist over towards your right side. Bring that right hand with you towards, bring that left hand with you, and then trace a large halo over your head as you slowly begin to anchor that left shoulder down. And then the gaze can go from center over towards that left side of the room, and you can place that right hand on top of the left thigh. You can also have a greater angle if necessary. You can also find something that's more accommodating for your body if that's necessary this morning. Meet yourself where you're at. Another breath in here. Letting that one go. Begin to release. We'll inhale, come back to center, and we'll switch it out. Breath in, and then exhale, twist open towards that left side. Trace the halo if you'd like over the head. Release and lowering the shoulders down to the ground, taking that gaze wherever it's comfortable for you. If your knees happen to be off the ground, then support the body by placing a blanket or a pillow to protect the body so that it's in a more comfortable state. Your practice is meant to enhance your mood, your day, your mind. So do yourself a favor and enjoy it. Do your best not to force it. Let it come naturally. Enjoy the journey that you're on. You've got another breath in here. And then you'll let that one go. On your next breath in, looking back up towards the ceiling or your sky, bring those knees back in towards your heart. Let those knees come in closer towards your body. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. You're also able to lift the head up for that giant squeeze and let every fiber, every muscle of your being contract. And then on that inhale, you'll let go. Extending the legs to the corners of the mat, allowing those arms to rest to your sides. If you feel like you want support on any portion of the body, whether it's the knees, whether it's the head, let yourself go there. Take a full breath in, and then we'll exhale. Let that breath go. Letting the breath be soft, natural, and unlabored. You'll soften the features of your face. You'll let yourself find a restful, peaceful state for connection and nourishment of mind, body, and spirit. Enjoy your few moments as you rest. Bring that awareness back to your space, back to your physical presence. Begin by taking a full inhale through your nose and that open mouth sigh to release. Maybe taking the tongue, licking the lips, sealing them towards one another, and then releasing. Invite gentle movement back into the fingers, the toes, then circles with the wrists and ankles in each direction. Awaken your neck and your spine by moving your head right side to left side. And then when you're ready, finding that center alignment. You'll inhale for a big, good morning stretch, and then you'll exhale, curl in for a nice hug. Releasing, extending that right arm towards the back side of the mat, rotating or rolling over towards your right side. You'll take a breath here in that fetal position. You'll release that breath here. And then with your left fingertips and your eyes closed if possible, inhale, rise up into a comfortable seated position, facing anywhere that you arrive. If you want to stay in Shavasana a little longer, then please do so. Bringing those hands into prayer, and at our heart space, we'll draw a breath in. And we'll exhale, sigh that breath out, and bow to each other and to our practice and the journey we've shared this morning. The divine in me salutes, honors, and recognizes the divine love and light in each of you. May you be at peace. May you find ease, and may there be comfort from my heart to yours. Namaste.